Today is November 2nd. This in particular day, however, is extraordinary, with saints, festivities, and flowers as far as the eye can see. This is Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. Our journey begins just after the break of dawn in San Miguel de Allende. Here, churches ring their bells to remark the beginning of this holiday. As we behold the profound beauty of the church, we venture deep into its catacombs. Here, bishops, priests, and other religious figures of the Catholic Church lie in their final resting place. Only on Dia de los Muertos are you allowed to come here. But what is the Day of the Dead? Aaron T. believes he can tell us.
Today, the Day of the Dead, it's of course a very private festivity, but now it's becoming like a more public thing. You know, now we have parades in different cities. A lot of people come to see that, and originally, as far as we know, it's a private celebration to honor the ancestors or relatives who are dead. And according to the tradition, the belief is that they come during this time of the year to visit their families who are still alive. So people make an altar. Some people make it very simple, maybe 3 levels, with all this food, the fruit, the drinks, the water, the candles, flowers, and seeds. And that was what the Day of the Dead was originally before it became like very popular among people and a more public thing.
In all of its 32 states, Mexico flourishes during this holiday. But why is it celebrated? And where did it originate?
The truth is that the native cultures that are still alive today, their belief is that their ancestors are still living among us, and they have to honor them. Otherwise, if they don't do it, their ancestors could do bad things to them, and they don't want that, of course, and they honor them, they remember them all the time, and that's a good way to keep things in a good mood year to year.
The holiday, Dia de los Muertos, goes back to the Aztec times. And the Spanish came over to Mexico and was trying to convert all of the Aztecs into Catholicism. This was very important to the Spanish, who really believed that they were trying to save the Aztecs by converting them into Catholicism. However, the Aztecs had their own established beliefs. They believed in many different gods, and they had this holiday of Day of the Dead. The Catholics at the time, and still do, have a very similar holiday of All Saints and All Souls Day. So it is much easier to convert somebody when you can relate to an already established belief. And that's what they did with Dia de los Muertos. They merged the two beliefs together so that now the Dia de los Muertos is actually another day of Catholicism.
And to welcome their dead families with open arms, citizens paint their faces to mask a familiar look.
During the Day of the Dead, they pray, they have, in the house, they have a celebration around the altar, and many people, they go to visit the burials of their relatives in the cemeteries.
As we travel down to the cemetery, everyone bears smiles and marigolds to honor their families. Soon, they'll be closest to the ones they love. This is El Cementerio, the resting place of many families and friends. Here, mariachis play, plants blossom, and of course, joy fills the thin air. Religious figures mark the ascent into heaven, while flowers serve as the gateway into the mortal world. Soon, families will be reunited once more as the locals prepare their graves for their arrival. As we see row after row of graves, the more unfathomable they become. Walls stack upon stack, and grave after grave overlap, revealing a sight in Mexico like none ever seen. The result is unimaginable.
People who visit their relatives, dead relatives, in the cemeteries and graveyards, it's depending on each family. Some people are kind of sad, mostly if that person died not so long ago, or if that person was a children. So some people do it like something very private, very quiet, it's kind of sad. And some others, they bring a music band or a mariachi, tequila, food, and they have a big parade to celebrate their ancestors who are dead, and they invite them to join them and be with them do that festivity or celebration.
There are three important symbols for Dia de los Muertos. The first one is pan de muerto. This is a sweet bread that the Mexicans make. They make it with a cross symbol right in the middle of the bread. This represents north, south, east, and west, because the Aztecs believed that Mexico was the center of the universe. The second symbol that you'll see is incense. Incense not only makes the home smell amazing, but it also purifies the air. And the third important symbol for Dia de los Muertos is the marigold. This flower is not only used as a decorative tool, but more importantly, it is used to guide their loved ones, their dead loved ones, to and from the cemetery. They take these marigolds and they spread them out throughout the street with the petals or the whole flowers. It's not only a beautiful sight, but it makes sure that their dead loved ones know exactly how to get from the cemetery to their home and back again.
And now, as the sun sets along the horizon, everyone flocks to the main street for the Parade of the Dead. Sporting festive skulls and bones, thousands rush to watch the parade in celebration of reunification. The parade is about to begin. Candles light, incense spreads, and before we know it, the celebration begins. Row after row, traditional dresses and tiaras are sported, while Katrina's huge skeleton figures tower above. High school bands and mariachis blast traditional music, and the city flocks to witness the fiesta. Candles also play a huge role in the parade. Their flames flicker in the wind, guiding both the city and the spirits back to the cemetery. As we approach the cemetery, there's a needy haste to speed up. As the peak of the night approaches, the entire town crams in front of the church, ready to return to their families. As the ofrendas shine bright and blossom, both tourists and the locals travel from altar to altar. Ofrendas are like family trees. They showcase the family's history all the way back to its original founders. Marigolds, candles, and murals are also attached to ofrendas in order to attract other families. As the night comes to an end, the fiesta has just started. There's a joyous feeling in the air, which is nothing short of indescribable, and the plaza is overrun. Along with this, participants of the parade come out to be taken in pictures to remark this remarkable holiday. Dia de los Muertos. Is it religious? Perhaps festive? Or even celebratory? The answer is all of them. It's about reunification. It's about family.